My name is Evelyn. When I was 17, my whole world collapsed. I lost the only person who ever loved me, my mother. And my father? I never even saw his face. My mother told me he was killed by police in Calabar while she was still pregnant with me. That day, she said life was never the same again. She raised me alone with nothing but courage and prayer in a quiet village. We didn't have much, but her love was everything. Until one day, she fell terribly sick. I watched her fade, slowly, painfully. And before she died, she held my hands tightly and whispered a story. A story that would shape my entire future. She said, "Evelyn, you had an elder brother. He was kidnapped when he was just 2 years old, and I never saw him again." Then she closed her eyes and never opened them again. I was just a girl, alone, broken and scared. The only family left was my uncle. But instead of protecting me, he became the face of evil. He wanted me to sleep with him. Yes, my own uncle. I refused again and again, until one night I saw it in his eyes. If I stayed any longer, he would destroy me. So I ran, with only a plastic bag, a torn picture and a heart full of fear. I escaped to Onitsha alone, no family, no food, no roof. I found work at a small restaurant by day and slept at night in an unfinished building near the motor parts market. That building became my home, cold, empty, full of rats and danger. And then one dark morning in 2021, everything changed. I was sleeping when I heard footsteps, voices, guns. I peeked and saw armed men dragging a businessman into the building, beating him. They demanded 200 million naira. They blocked every exit. I froze. If they found me watching, I would disappear forever. If police showed up and saw me there, they'd assume I was involved. I closed my eyes and prayed for the ground to open and swallow me. Then one of the gang members answered a call. "Is the money ready?" "Yes," said the voice on the phone. "Drop it where I told you." No cops. Then they all left, except one man guarding the victim. He was cold, like ice. He tied the man up like an animal, lit a cigarette, and just watched him cry. I was shaking. But I remembered something. I had balloons in my bag. It was all I had. I blew them silently, one by one, and waited. Then gunshots echoed in the distance. The shooter panicked. He raised his gun. A call came in. "Kill him now and run." The man closed his eyes and I popped the balloons. Boom! Boom! It startled him. He dropped his gun and ran. I rushed out and untied the man. We ran fast, but halfway he collapsed. His leg was broken. "Run, Evelyn, run!" he cried. "Save yourself, please!" With shaking hands, he gave me a picture. "Keep this," he said, "in case we meet again." I ran, sobbing. 2 days later, I heard the news. The gang had killed several people, including him. My heart shattered. I took the night bus to Lagos and slept under the Oberlende Bridge for a week, cold, hungry, alone. But God didn't forget me. I got a job as a waitress in a small roadside restaurant. When I explained my story to the owner, Mr. Paul, he allowed me to sleep inside the restaurant at night. That place became my home, and that job became my lifeline. I gave it everything, serving customers with a smile, cooking with all my heart. From waitress to chef. The restaurant grew. We began to shine. One day, Mr. Paul called me in. He sat with his wife and child. He handed me an envelope. "This is just a small thank you," he said. "You changed our business. You gave us life." Tears rolled down my face. I had never held that much money in my hands. He added, "We're opening a new branch on Lagos Island, and we want you to manage it." But when I looked at his wife, her eyes were cold. No smile, no warmth. Still, I moved to Lagos Island. The streets were beautiful, the buildings tall, but I stayed focused. At first, the new restaurant was quiet. No customers, just silence. Then, one afternoon she came, Mr. Paul's wife. She called me aside and said, "I hope you're not sleeping with my husband. If I find out, I'll send you to prison." I dropped to my knees. "Mama, please, never. Mr. Paul is like a brother to me. You are like a mother. I would never ever cross that line." She didn't reply. She just walked away. I broke down that night, alone. No one saw me cry, not even Mr. Paul. I stayed silent because I didn't want to destroy their home. Then, something amazing happened. The rain stopped that evening, and people began coming in. Everyone who ate our food smiled, praised it, shared it. Our name began to spread. People from all over Lagos came to taste our jollof and egusi soup. Bank managers, rich couples, celebrities. Within weeks, I had daily orders from 4 banks. I hired staff, bought a delivery van. I was building something powerful. Then one day, a family came to eat. After the meal, the wife insisted on meeting the chef. I came out wiping my hands, but the husband stared at me. He said, "Did anyone ever give you a photo? Then, did you once save a man in an abandoned building in Onitsha?" My knees went weak. I ran to the kitchen, dug out the old picture and brought it to him. It was him. I had saved his life. The restaurant went silent as he told the story. Strangers cried, people hugged me, others transferred money to my account. Within hours, I had millions. I became a local celebrity overnight. Mr. Paul came rushing to the restaurant. I told him everything. He wept uncontrollably. Then he told me his own story. He said his mother once told him that he had a baby sister who was taken away to protect her from an evil uncle. They lived in Calabar, but were not from there. He said, "I always wondered what happened to her." Then I remembered my mother gave me a small mark on my back. She said she gave the same mark to my brother. I asked him, "Sir, do you have any mark on your back?" He stood up, took off his shirt, and there it was, boldly written 1M. That's Igbofor, my sibling. We went for a DNA test. The result came in. He was my blood brother. We cried. We hugged. I wished my mother could see it. I wished I could wake her up just once more. When we showed the result to his wife, she broke down in tears, apologizing over and over. I forgave her. Later, Mr. Mark, the man I had saved, came to my house. He handed me a key. "It's yours," he said. It was a 5-star hotel. I couldn't speak. He said, "You saved my life. Now I want to change yours." That was how my story turned, from the girl who slept under bridges to the woman managing hotels. My name is Evelyn, and this is my story. From pain to purpose, from nothing to something. Moral lesson: never let life turn your heart cold. Be good, even when life is unfair. Your story isn't over. God writes in chapters. Question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you have told Mr. Paul about his wife, or stayed silent like I did?